Hello there, today I'll be showing you how to make a remote controlled army. And I know, the title sounds a bit clickbait. That's because it is. Making a full-blown army in this game is basically impossible. I'm gonna show you how to make an armored vehicle squad. There's a better term for that, but I mean, this isn't a military video, this is about how to make the military. Or, in this case, armored vehicle squad. So, let's get started. Oh yeah, before I forget, please tell me down in the comments if I should change something or if I should stop using my microphone, as, oh yeah, feedback would be appreciated. Oh yeah, and when you are down there, can you please like the video? I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be nice. Okay, let's get started. This is the default vehicle chassis. Technically, this is the default vehicle chassis you want to use. You don't have to, but I mean, this is the one I use, and it's easier than this one. Okay, so I suggest you duplicate it. So it looks from the front, sides, and back, of course. Here are the motors and their settings. You don't have to use A and Q for controls. I use them because it's easy to reach and they're fairly close together, so I don't really have to remember all the controls for like 5 vehicles. And the speed really doesn't matter. I use 15 because it's not fast and it's not slow. But I suggest to turn toggle off because toggle will basically make your motors turn until you press the button again, which is fairly annoying when you're trying to be precise. Okay, done. Now, to the cupola, or as known in English, turret. This is how you want to make it, the basic design. It should look like a face, in short, as this design can use basically any weapon you want, except the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher requires a bigger base. Minigun, semi-gun. Of course, we can't forget rocket pods that didn't exist before the game got banned. And of course the torpedo. I don't know if you're gonna use a torpedo, I suggest you don't because it has a long reload. Otherwise it's perfectly fine. Okay, so select your vehicle gun type and place it. You can make your armor for the turret, at least, around the gun. Not literally, but I mean, like, build it so it covers at least a part of it. Or you don't have to, I mean, I'm not your boss. Like, this is literally fine, I guess. Maybe a bit extended here. Like this here. There. A turret. Everything red. I mean everything that uses the red turret block should be automatically connected to your mouse. Like automatically, it will track it basically. So, for example, aiming is basically just mouse over the enemy and it will shoot. Same as steering, which will basically make steering and attacking at the same time impossible, at least effectively impossible. As you could technically just aim and steer, but that would be very inefficient, unless you find a different design, which, good for you, I guess. But yeah, this is the basic design you want to copy. You just, then, of course, you have to add these blocks. These blocks are, of course, ballast blocks. The beam. I suggest use the beam, but you can also use the literal blocks. But the beam will take less part space. After you place your ballast blocks, I suggest you place something here so your turret turret ring, if I may call it so, because I mean in practice it is a turret ring. Make sure something here exists for its protection, as it's one of the most important parts of the tank. Or in this part, armored car, but perfect. Now that this part has been protected, I suggest you also protect the steering, as this part basically controls the whole thing. Something like this should be fine. You can also use half blocks. I think I call them at least half blocks. You can also call them slabs, like in Minecraft. Yeah, make sure it's on the correct rotation so it doesn't interfere with the turret here. There. The tank is finished. It's perfect for desert terrain, ironically. I mean, you can use it in basically any flat terrain, but make sure you are well hidden, or at least camouflaged. For example, make it look like a ruined plane, like you crashed down and this sphere is just somebody else's build. Yeah, there. I'm not gonna go into detail how to make a good looking crashed plane in this video. If you want to see it, I mean, sure, I can upload a video about that, but for now, anything that just disguises you a bit. Now let's test our builds. Of course, the cannon is set to F, so it will fire at F. And yeah, the controls work, as you can see. The turret spins, it goes up, down, it goes boom, and of course it moves. It isn't exactly too easy to control, as it will follow your mouse, so it will lead to some, well, inefficiencies at some parts. But I'd say it's not that bad, honestly, because this isn't important by itself. But make like 4 of these or 3, and then your opponent is in trouble, because aiming at this one, sure, it's easy. What will stop you? But let me show you something. But aiming these ones, while these ones are shooting at you, now that's a difficulty test. At least I call it a difficulty test. Of course, I suggest you make sure that the cannons and different types of weaponry do use different keybinds. For example, this can fire without cannons firing. But yeah, let's say that there is still living, and it's currently targeting me. You just have to scatter these. You do that by controlling multiple and just letting go of some ones, or just literally switching the controls mid controlling, which will cause them to skedaddle basically, or scatter, whatever terminology you want to use. Of course, you can control the light armored vehicles that I also have. And of course, I suggest you make sure this one, or the one that's nearest to you, is clear view, so it doesn't exactly do this, as this is annoying and will actually make you an easier target. So yeah, let's say this is shooting at the target. Then the cannons fire. Now your enemy is decimated, or it just respawns, as some do. You just have to continuously fire and destroy. It's basically unusable. It's more decommissioned than annihilated, but hey, it's not usable anymore, so your opponent is out of the game. Of course, I should probably mention, these do flip. Like, you will get into troubles where they would flip and you will have to turn them around. You do that by swinging your mouse, and the turret on them should probably flip them around. I'm not sure about these ones, but I know that those ones will turn around, as you can see. Now, that's basically it.
Spring is is here, a suffering is here. Life is skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you? Of course you do. But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and makes every Sunday a treat for me. All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park.